could be better, I have to say. Good going forward. I like his willingness to put crosses into the box, but in terms of his defensive positioning, I think Arteta needs to work hard, I think, with Cedric. It's certainly an area that he can develop.
3 minutes of added on time, incidentally, and Ryan Brewster is coming on for Gigi Wijnaldum here, and it's a late change. Wijnaldum comes off, and Brewster, who did score from the spot in the shootout win, is on, and we reference his Swansea stats, 10 goals last season, having come midway through the campaign in the Championship. Long punt forward by Martinez.
Scored some good goals for Swansea as well, Ryan Brewster. All sorts of goals, spectacular goals, long ranges, tap-ins. He's got great movement. I think he's a star of the future. Whether that's at Liverpool or not, I don't know, but I think there's a real player there.
Gomez. 3 minutes nearly up. Fabinho. Now it's with Van Dijk. Fabinho once again. Robertson miscontrols. Cedric on him quickly. 15 seconds or so remaining. After 3 minutes of added on time, Cedric will clear under pressure from Robertson, and it's cleared away. It looks like we're going to go to penalties.
Yes.
Here, Adrian.
It does, yeah. Look, 1-1 against Liverpool, who have, I think, been back in training a little bit longer than Arsenal. I think that's it's a good workout for us. Good result.
Well, one apiece. At 90 minutes, we go straight to spot kicks. And of course, Community Shield has had its fair share of penalties drama over the years. Of course, Arsenal were beaten in a Community Shield penalty shootout by Manchester United back in 2003. But they did beat Chelsea, of course, just 3 years ago in 2017 by way of a shootout. Liverpool beaten last season in a shootout by Manchester City, but then won the UEFA Super Cup shootout, you might recall, against Chelsea. So there's plenty of history when it comes to penalties. And of course, we mentioned the game last year. He did that incredible 5-5 that went to penalties. Emi Martinez was in goal that day, didn't manage to save any of them. Liverpool were ruthless.
Good penalties,
from
weren't
the
they?
spot where they were.
Yeah. Well, that game was so good. That game was so mental that I'd even forgotten that it was decided by penalties. It was because it was all about the 5-5, wasn't it? But it was almost, we'd enjoyed it so much. I mean, so in effect, we saw almost 20 goals that night. It was crazy. 19 times the net bulged at Anfield. Quite remarkable.
Well, according to my stats, Emi Martinez last saved a penalty in regulation way back in October 2015. That was in his days at Wolves on loan in the Championship, when he saved from Chris Martin of Derby in a 4-2 defeat. And of course, he did face a couple last season.
Yeah, just looking actually, it was the goalkeeper coach was just going through a clipboard of where the penalty takers, where they think Liverpool's penalty takers will knock the ball. It's a lot to remember, isn't it, if you're a goalkeeper?
You've got to get it right down, put it in your sock or something. I mean,
I would rather have that behind my goal to refer to when they're walking up than having to memorise it, that's for sure.
He faced one from Troy Deeney late last season, of course, and Deeney scored. He faced one from Milner last season in the 5-5 in the 90, and Milner scored. Milner's not on, incidentally, because he went off, of course. Milner was a goal scorer in the shootout. Milner, Lallana, Brewster, Origi and Jones. Bellerin took one last year for Arsenal, won't take one now. Guendouzi, Martinelli, Ceballos and Maitland-Niles. Obviously, Dani Ceballos did not convert. Oba was 4 from 4 last season from the spot. Pepe was 2 from 2. He's not here. You can.
Willian scored 4. Willian scored 4 pens for Chelsea.
You can massage your stats any way you want them to get the storyline, the narrative that you want here. I mean, it's not a lottery, in my opinion. It's about skill, technique, nerve, and bottle. There's no supporters to put you off.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Who do you fancy?
Two good keepers, two very good keepers. I fancy Arsenal. Just because of the Wembley factor. I'll back our boys, but look, it's no disaster if we are to lose this. But look, we're here. Let's do our best for the shootout. We've got good, but for next season, by the way, Aubameyang, great option from the spot. Pepe, as you've outlined, and Willian, three guys that are comfortable penalty specialists. So look, if we have shootouts moving forwards and those three are in the team together, you know, we could be in a good place.
Alisson only faced one in the Premier League last season against Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne scored. Last time he saved a spot kick in regulation was against Real Madrid and Manchester City in the 0-0 draw back in 2018. Arsenal lost their last penalty shootout, but did manage to win the previous three against Chelsea, Wigan, West Brom. That was after being beaten by Bradford in the League Cup. We won't go over that again. Liverpool have won their last two, having lost their previous two, including against Manchester City in last year's Community Shield. Mo Salah to step up for Liverpool first. Leading goal scorer for Liverpool last season in the Premier League and Golden Boot share of the previous campaign. Liverpool will take the first spot kick up against Martinez. Can the Egyptian put the Merseysiders a goal to the good? He can. That was confidently dispatched, AD.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it was power, really hardly struck. And he sent Martinez the wrong way there. Martinez dives to his right, Salah goes the other way. It's a rocket, wasn't it?
Reece Nelson is the next man to come forward. Salah did score against Chelsea in the shootout, against City in the shootout last season, but was on the losing side as Gabriel Jesus managed to grab the winning spot kick. That was after Gigi Wijnaldum had his saved, and of course the Dutchman's already off. So Reece Nelson, to make it one apiece in the shootout, sends the keeper the wrong way. That was very nicely done from Nelson.
Well, it's probably even better than Mo Salah's spot kick. It was lower. I always think, gotta go really low. Goalkeepers find it hard to get down there. It's absolutely perfect. Sent him the wrong way. Good disguise on that penalty.
Well, Fabinho is the next to step forward. A player who did take penalties on and off in his Monaco days. Let's see what he can conjure here against Emi Martinez as Jurgen Klopp looks on. Fabinho against the Argentine. Oh, another very good penalty, AD.
Wow, the goalkeepers are getting nowhere near these at the moment. Yeah, they once again gone the wrong way. I think there's a nice whip on that. Almost identical to Reece Nelson there from Fabinho.
So 2-1. It's going as planned. Ainsley Maitland-Niles scored his first ever Arsenal goal against Liverpool in a defeat and did score from the spot in that shootout defeat up at Anfield last season and had a very good final 5 minutes here. 15 minutes even, in fairness. Ainsley steps up and Arsenal look to go 2-2. The academy products leading the way for the Gunners at the moment. Ainsley Maitland-Niles against Alisson. Which way will he go? Oh, he sends the keeper the wrong way. That was perfectly placed just inside the post. Alisson moves one way, the ball goes the other. We're all square.
Yes, another good pen. Nice little stutter, and it's so casual. It's trademark Maitland-Niles. I mean, he's so chilled out, isn't he? Just slides it into the corner. Really good.
Ryan Brewster next up. Had that loan spell at Swansea. Scored from the spot, of course, last season, as we mentioned, in the shootout. And the League Cup success over the Gunners. So he's netted against Martinez previously. What can he do here? The late sub on to score from the spot, obviously. Oh, it hits the top of the crossbar, and it's a miss for Liverpool.
Well, he's tried to knock the spots off the ball. It's a bad pen. Hits the crossbar, just kisses the top of the crossbar. It went straight down the middle. Loads of power. Martinez actually went the right way. It was just to the right of centre. Not saying he would have saved it, but yeah, not the best from Ryan Brewster there.
Advantage Arsenal here. The youngster trudges back to the halfway line. Gets some encouraging words from the Liverpool players, his teammates, but he's got to be feeling it, even though it is just the Community Shield. It won't be just the Community Shield if Arsenal win. Cedric to step up to take advantage of the miss. Does so. Nicely done from Cedric. Ice cool.
Cool, yeah, good word. It's very, very calm and assured. like that. I mean, Arsenal's penalties have been good so far. Alisson once again goes the wrong way. Just seeing images of Arteta and his coaching team. They seem keen to win this, as you should be.
Well, Minamino will step forward now. Scorer of the equaliser, of course, the Japanese star. What can he do from the spot here? Did score for Salzburg last season and Japan, and he nets from 12 yards here to keep Liverpool just about in it.
Yeah, straight down the mid, wasn't it, from Minamino? Commits himself quite early, in fairness. Martinez goes too soon.
And David Luiz is going to be next to go forwards here. There's one player you'd like to think would put the laces behind this one and go for power. It is David Luiz. Let's see what he can do.
Brazil v Brazil.
Yeah, never scored a penalty in his... Oh, yes, he has scored a penalty a long time ago against Manchester United for Chelsea. Here he goes, and that's really good. High into the back of the net, and Arsenal maintain their advantage.
Top bins, that's what they call those, I believe. That is unsavable.
Yeah, it is,
top
isn't
corner.
it?
Yeah, magnificent.
5 foot in the air, left or right, towards the post. You're not going to, even if the goalkeeper guesses the right way and takes off before the spot kick's taken, I don't think you're going to stop it.
No.
So Curtis Jones, I think, is going to step forwards here. It was Jones who netted the winning penalty for Liverpool in the shootout last autumn. Here, he's trying to keep Liverpool in it. And then, of course, Arsenal will have an opportunity themselves. Emi Martinez trying to put him off.
Yeah, this is good.
He's got the pattern, he's got the banter as Emi. It's Jones. He finds the corner. It is 4 apiece. Not
I like
spooked by Emi Martinez.
A little bit of words being said there. Curtis Jones, fair play to him, giving it back to Emi Martinez. That was arguably the best pen of the lot, because that is right by the post. Now,
how's your timing
for your last pen?
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang takes the last pen. I always a little bit worried leaving your best penalty to take it to last. I always think you put them right at the front. Shearer, England, think all that sort of thing. So Oba didn't miss one last season, did miss at Wembley against Spurs a couple of seasons ago, you might recall, up against Alisson. Wembley is his second home. The Gabon star and Arsenal's main man, the skipper, the top scorer from last season, who opened the scoring here this afternoon, finds the net, and Arsenal have won the Community Shield by beating Liverpool on penalties by 5-4. The Brewster miss, the bar to the rescue for the Gunners. We were hanging on a little towards the end of the game, even though a late rally saw Willock miss a great opportunity. It was Aubameyang, of course, who scored first before Minamino's late one. But you know what, Adi, all in all, I think Arsenal deserve that.
Beaming smiles down below. You see what it means to them, and the players celebrating like they did underneath the arch for the cup final, singing and dancing. Look, they wanted it today, and it's another good scalp, isn't it? You look in the history books, it's a win. Okay, the game was drawn, but we won the game on penalty kicks. And Liverpool, they look gutted. And I just think, it's a real lift for the team. Not that they needed one, but it's another chance to keep that momentum building under Mikel Arteta, who's now inspired the team to win 2 pieces of silverware. He's absolutely beaming.
No doubt about that. We'll get more from Adrian in just a second. Nick will be back with us as well. We need your thoughts as well on yet another Arsenal win at Wembley. This time the Community Shield. Arsenal will lift it for a 16th time all told, and the first since 2017. And a real team performance here, there is no doubt about that. Oba will hit the headlines for a wonderful first goal and of course the winning penalty. But I think every single player who took to the pitch in Arsenal colours certainly contributed. There were really good shifts from the likes of Kieran, Tierney and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Oba, of course, Saka on the odd occasion in the first half. Eddie Nketiah put himself about as well. There was some really good positive news from Arsenal's squad here. Mikel Arteta can celebrate once again. And for Liverpool, well, as Adi pointed out, the fact that their players trudged towards the sidelines, shaking their heads with glum expressions, says it all. And the way that Oba celebrates as well, I think, says it all, because he is very much an Arsenal man, and long may that continue. Well, Arsenal claiming the Community Shield just a fortnight ahead of their Premier League season getting underway. And of course, we'll be back for that one. Fulham away from home to kick off the new campaign, and Arsenal will go into the new season full of confidence off the back of an August FA Cup win and an August Community Shield success as well, the latest since the 50s that we're playing this traditional curtain raiser to the English football season. And just looking at pictures here, the likes of Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino, they are gutted on the sidelines. There is no doubt about that. Virgil van Dijk looks like he's lost a Champions League final, let alone a Community Shield final. Well, it is Arsenal's day, and I think they've performed pretty well to claim a penalty shootout success. Let's get some social media reaction. We'll get some more analysis from Adrian to come. Nick will be in the chair shortly. Full time at Wembley here. 1 apiece at the 90. Arsenal beat Liverpool on penalties by 5-4.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, as I said at the very start of the show, the Community Shield, absolutely massive trophy, mate. Massive Titan win for Arsenal, Adrian.
Yeah, Community Shield is a huge trophy, isn't it? Of course it matters. But look, it was really, really interesting there at the final. So Arsenal's players celebrated like it really mattered. Mikel Arteta was beaming, wasn't he? And contrast that with Liverpool, they looked sick. And okay, that will wear off, and they'll come to terms with it. It's not the end of the world, of course, but it's not what they wanted ahead of the start of the Premier League season. For the Gunners, they can all go off on international duty feeling pretty chipper. When they come back and prepare for Fulham, then the mood will be fantastic. So yeah, it turned out very nicely. And look, Arsenal up against it for long periods of that game, but just as they did in the FA Cup, it was a very professional performance and a good tactical success again for Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, of course, I'm being playful. A win is a win, and to win against, the champions is fantastic for our momentum. Hopefully we can carry that on into the season. But just a word, Adrian, on this record we've got at Wembley. I feel like, do you remember a few seasons back when we were in the Champions League and we had to play our Champions League home games at Wembley, and it was a disaster? Maybe we could switch all our home games to Wembley this season in the Premier League, because we're pretty good there.
We are. We love it, don't we? It's fantastic. And look, it bodes well for when hopefully come the end of this season, the business end, we're back there for League Cup final, FA Cup final, FA Cup semi-final potentially as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But Arsenal at Wembley, they're certainly at home, and long may that amazing record continue.
Yeah, and just looking at the pictures now, just to echo what you and Dan Roebuck were saying, seeing the Liverpool players now looking absolutely gutted, and the Arsenal players all high-fiving and hugging each other and big smiles across their faces. It's what you love to see as a Gooner. Right, if you were watching the breakdown live with us on the back end of last season, you will know that after each game, we talk about 3 things that we've learned from today's game, and that's exactly where we're going now. Let's have a look at the first thing that we've learned from today's game. 1, if the game plan ain't broke, don't change it. And you've obviously been having your say on social media about this as well. So I believe we can see some tweets here. There's one here from NK9 that says, what Arteta is doing with Arsenal is beautiful. Defend collectively, string forward passes to break out on the counter. Beautiful. And 9 Roll says Arsenal will have a very good season. Arteta's built a solid system, just needs a few more additions and serious top 4 contenders. I mean, that's a shout there. Do you put us down as top 4 contenders this season, Adrian?
I do, yeah. I do feel we're top 4 contenders. It's not going to be easy, and I do think that Mikel Arteta needs to be given the backing to go out and sign some better individual players, particularly in the defensive positions, and maybe bring in one more midfielder, a box to box guy that can chip in and score some goals. But no, I see no reason why not. Arteta is a very, very good tactician. We've seen that already, and he's improving individual players and he's improving the collective. So yeah, it was another very, very good day at the office. He pretty much nullified Liverpool here today. They didn't force Emi Martinez into too many saves. Couple in the second half that were really good from him. But other than that, we were relatively comfortable, and we caused them a lot of problems from turnovers, transitions on those long counters that we talked about ahead of kickoff. So look, we're heading in the right direction. But on the slide that we used there, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. These are games against tough teams. These are games against City, Chelsea, Liverpool, where we don't have a lot of the ball. What I will say is we need a slightly different tweaked format for when we take on the Fulhams, the West Hams, the Southamptons, everyone else in the Premier League. And don't be surprised if he somehow finds a way of bringing an extra attacking player and maybe an extra attacking midfielder into this starting 11. Because when I look at it, this team right now is built for games like this. I think a different team maybe is built for some of the other games in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's a very good point that you make. When we'll see what happens when we play Fulham first game of the season at Craven Cottage as well. Just to let you know what's happening at Wembley right now. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has just picked up the Community
He's not
Shield.
dropped it.
No, he hasn't dropped it yet. He's walking over to the rest of the team. They're slamming their hands on the board, and there we go. The champagne's being sprayed. Look at that. Everybody's happy. Is that Martinelli spraying the champagne? The very
well, he's just signed a new contract here, Gabriel Martinelli. So he tweeted that this week. So that's great news. New 5-year deal for Gab, and he'll be back hopefully around December time. And it'll be like a new signing when he comes back in.
To use a Wengerism, yeah, but it's very true what you say. He's such a great player for us, and I can't wait to see him back in red and white. Right, let's move on to the second thing that we've learned from today's game then, and it's about this man. Kieran Tierney is our best pure defender. Always loads of love for KT3 on social media, as you can imagine. So let's have a look at a little bit of that now. Here's something from Divya, who says, wish that Arsenal could have 11 Tierneys in the team. Master of defending and effective attacking. Yeah, he's good going backwards and forwards. And Frasimo says, nobody can tell me there's a better left back. There's a left back better at defending than Kieran Tierney. He is a great player. We touched on him in the pre-match show, Adrian. The fact that he's playing this on the left side of a back three at the moment, but he seems to keep doing it for us.
He does, yeah, and he's very good at it. He's excellent positionally. And when balls came into the box today, he was often in the right place. He made some good blocks, some good clearances. He's an intelligent footballer that loves to defend. And we know that he's got ability going forward. He's got a great left foot, etc. So he's a 2-in-1 player for me. Someone can play left centre back or play as an attack-minded left back. And at times today, he did a bit of a Sheffield United, didn't he? And he stepped forward and he ran down the wing. And I think that's something that can really trouble opposition sides moving forwards. Yeah, I was really happy when we signed him from Celtic because he's a youngster that I'd sort of tracked his progress, and I always thought he looks a bit special to me, and nothing that I've seen since he signed has changed my mind. I think he's great, and ahead of the game we didn't get to it actually because we ran out of time, but I'd pinpointed him as a key player. Could he keep Mo Salah quiet? And I have to say, Mo Salah did very little in this game, and a lot of that I think was down to Tierney's positioning. He broke up play great and looked after the ball very nicely.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see kind of the improvements in our defending this season, much like many Gooners, I imagine, with the addition that we've got guaranteed and potentially additions if Gabriel does come in. Lots of people excited for that. Pablo Mari as well. We've not really seen what Pablo Mari can do. So, it bodes well for our defence this season.
It does, yeah. Well, you got Saliba, who we didn't see today. It was a shame, wasn't it? We didn't see William Saliba. But you got Saliba, Pablo Mari, maybe another new signing. Gabriel's been linked heavily, hasn't he? So that's 3 newbies, really, that can compete with the guys that we saw today. So plenty of depth, I'd suggest. I mean, Holding's been linked with a loan move to Newcastle. So he was very good today. You'd be loath to lose him, you have to say. So big decisions, I think. And Maitland-Niles, I know that the TV companies gave him the man of the match, and I thought he was definitely one of the best players for Arsenal. He's been linked with a move away. Some tough calls here because some of the better performers this afternoon are the ones being linked with other clubs, and that's not what you want, really, is it?
No, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well. Just a little bit of appreciation from me too. He has been today. He was great. Like you've already said, but back end of last season as well. Since the restart, he's been phenomenal for us, really. And he's young. He's an academy product. I know he's got value, resale value in the transfer market. Well, I say resale value. Pure profit because he came through the academy, but. It'd be sad to see him go because I feel like he's just starting to find his feet at Arsenal.
Yeah, I feel that Arteta will use him a lot this season. Does Arteta see him as the number 1 at left wing back? I don't know. I don't think any of us know that. I'm not quite sure that he does, but he's done a great job. But you can't criticise the job that Maitland-Niles has done at the back end of last season and today. What I love about him is he's switched on mentally. He's so calm and chilled out. But Arteta has brightened him up tactically. And he understands the game now, flitting between dropping into midfield when we play out from the back to dropping wide to be a natural left wing back isn't easy, and he makes it look easy. So yeah, he's a player that Arteta has improved, no doubt. Do we want to now give that player to someone else to free up funds? We might have to. I don't know, but certainly I don't think that the head coach would want to lose him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Arteta loves him, doesn't he? You've seen him hugging him at the end of the FA Cup final game, and you know he speaks so positively about him in all his press.
There are other squad players, that I would rather sell than him, absolutely for sure. And maybe we can try and you know get those out of the door before we lose the guys that are actually playing right now.
Yeah, good point. Right, let's move on to the third and final thing that we've learned from today's performance then. And of course, it's appreciation for this man. Another man who was thrust in. You know, it's what he wanted, I guess, because Bernd Leno got the injury. He wanted that opportunity and he has grasped it with, I mean, I know he's only got 2 hands, but he might as well have 10. We still don't know who our number 1 is because Emi Martinez has been fantastic.
Right, let me put this, I'm going to throw this back at you then, Nick.
Go on.
Right? You're Emi Martinez, right?
Yeah,
you've just been outstanding in the back end of last season. You know, heroic in the FA Cup triumph. You've played in the Community Shield. You've made 2 great saves coming off your line, and you're on the bench for the Fulham game. How would you feel?
To be honest with you, I'd be absolutely devastated. You know, at the moment, I know this is a bit of a football cliche, but I kind of feel like he's undroppable for us at the moment because he hasn't done anything wrong. And I know Bernd Leno is a top goalkeeper. But, you know, when you're number 2, who's waited so long for an opportunity, gets that opportunity and absolutely smashes it. Let's not pretend that, you know, he's been okay. He smashed it. How can you drop him?
No, you can't. I think he has to play against Fulham. I just think if he's left out of that game, he will feel absolutely baffled, I think, because he's done nothing to lose his place. Now, that's harsh on Bernd Leno, who was deservedly runner-up in the Player of the Year vote. He was my runner-up in the Player of the Year vote. He was outstanding, but he might just have to wait for his chance. And what happens there? You know, do you wait? It's such a quandary for the manager to make that call over who plays. Personally, I think you can't drop Martinez, so maybe it's an easier decision than we think. But then the repercussions of that decision are then what do you do with Bernd Leno?
Yeah.
It's really, really hard. But they're not number 2 goalies. They are 2 number 1s. And I think it'd be pretty greedy to hang on to 2 number 1s.
It's a real headache for Mikel Arteta, that one, because, you know, like you say, it's very rare that you have 2 goalkeepers who are so good at the same time at your club.
Look, in my view, look, and this is purely my own opinion, I don't think you can drop Martinez. So then you maybe open yourself up to a possible sale of Bernd Leno. Now, how much would Bernd Leno be in the transfer market? For me, more valuable than Emi Martinez because he has, you know, he's played a lot more games. You know, he's miles better than Kepa, who cost 70 odd million. If we're looking to raise funds, I mean, it seems crazy to potentially sell your runner-up Player of the Year. And I hate myself for saying it, but it would be a way of raising significant funds to go and strengthen the team in other areas. I'm not saying we should do it, but it's something that has to, I think, come under consideration.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, most definitely. You know, we'll have to see what happens with that one. Let's just have a quick look at the social media love that's coming in for Emi Martinez then. This one's from AFC Jamie, who says, I'm sorry, Emi Martinez has to start against Fulham. He's done nothing wrong until he does something that justifies putting Leno back in goal. Emiliano starts September 12th. And echoing basically what we were saying, here's one from Bruce, who says, Martinez is class. Crazy how players like that can go years without regular football. Arsenal have unexpectedly unearthed an absolute gem. Fair play. Yeah, I think he shocked everyone, including the coaching staff and the manager. Like, nobody expected this.
No, they didn't. But look, what I will say, we don't have to sell either of them. We don't have to. It could be a way of quickly, you know, getting some funds there to buy the outfield players that we really need. But we don't have to sell them. January will come around quickly, and there will be a lot of football between now and January for the backup keeper, whoever that is. 6 Europa League games, guaranteed, aren't they? All come, fairly quickly. We got Carabao Cup games coming early on in the season as well. I think whoever is the number 2 will get an awful lot of game time between now and January. Personally, the more I think about it, I just think we should probably sit tight, unless, of course, you get a silly offer for one of the goalkeepers that you think is just too good to refuse.
Yeah.
Because they can have a shootout between now and January. I think they can have a genuine shootout. One of them in the league. The other will get probably 8 to 10 games in cup competitions. That's enough to say, right, to 2021, you've been better. You're our number 1.
It's a good problem to have, let's put it that way, because we went from not having a decent number 1 keeper to now having 2. So a lot like London buses, you wait ages for 1 and 2 come along at once. AD, thank you very much, as always, for your expertise and your knowledge today. You will be back on September the 12th for our true curtain raiser of the Premier League season, as we travel across London to Craven Cottage to face newly promoted Fulham. It's a different test to today, because like Adrian just said, we fare quite well against the top opposition. It's the guys lower down that we should be beating that we've struggled with, especially last season. So I'm very interested